Think about it for a second as an aside. This is New York City, media capital of the world, the Mecca. And our two coaches are Adam Gase and Pat Shermer. I don't understand. But that's a different subject for another day. I'll get your pen in a second. All I'm trying to say is this, y'all. I'm looking at Daniel Jones, and I'm like, okay, Sterling Shepard showed up for you. Evan Ingram showed up for you. You've got some weapons. The offensive line, as you highlighted, has improved. So even though you don't have Saquon Barkley, that forces us to pass more, which means it's more repetition for you. How much are you working through your progressions? Are you reading defenses appropriately? Are you flinging that football? Is your velocity there? All of these things that you're doing without Saquon Barkley, if you pull it off in any with any degree of success, win or lose, imagine what people are going to be about once Saquon comes back. That's why I say yes to this question. I think there's reason for optimism.
All right, everybody can fly off the handle. And let me contextualize what I was saying about Daniel Jones being better than what Baker Mayfield is.
Stop right there. You said that?
Yeah.
When?
This morning.
On Get Up? Oh, Get Up? You said that Daniel Jones, repeat it for the national audience.
Better than Baker Mayfield. And I'm going to contextualize.
Go ahead.
Okay? Because the formula for success, Daniel Jones emulates more than Baker Mayfield does. All right?
Formula for success?
The formula to success of being an NFL quarterback. Okay. Daniel Jones emanates that better at this point than Baker Mayfield does. Okay. Now, let me give you my reasoning, right? I'm a big proponent of guys that process fast. Daniel Jones has proven he can process fast. Because that doesn't have anything to do with the competition. Mm-hmm. That means how fast you're seeing things happen on the field and what you need to do in order to get rid of the football. The second thing is, when you look at the success rate of quarterbacks in the vein that Daniel Jones is in, he's along the same lines of the guys that we've seen have a tremendous amount of success, plus having a little bit of athletic ability to go along with his ability from the pocket.
More than a little.
This is why I wasn't high on Daniel Jones, and I had to really go back and say to myself, why was this guy thought of like it's because he played at Duke. Right? And I kind of disbarred the fact that he played for Cutcliffe in college, who has been one of the best quarterback producers in the history of football when you look at
Manning
the guys.
Family, yeah.
That as well. So all of these things that I'm talking about is my future view of what Daniel Jones can be based on what he did in the preseason and in this game. This has nothing to do with the defenses he's faced. Mm-hmm. This has everything to do with what I've seen success look like in the NFL.
I have a question. Not debating it. Not qualified to debate that point. Here's my point. Tampa switched from their regular Tampa 2. To the 3-4 under Bowles. Obviously going to blitz you all day long. I would like to know, as an NFL player, how complicated is that to figure out? Because what I'm saying to you is that all I have, in my opinion, I'm sorry, but I'm not paying attention to the good performance against Cincinnati in the preseason. Even though that was against a first unit team, I'm not paying attention to that. I'm going to pay attention to the regular season. And the only evidence that we have is him against Tampa, who's playing your 3-4, who you know is going to blitz all day long. I'm asking you, how complicated is that to figure out and see based on what Bowles threw at him? Because that tells me a lot.
Well, I'm glad you asked, because Todd Bowles was coaching on the staff in Dallas when I was there. Very difficult. And it's zone pressures. Mm-hmm. So the issue is you can be playing man on one side, zone on the other side. Here's what people don't understand. We look at Pat Mahomes' no-look passes, his ability to throw the ball downfield, but we very rarely talk about how fast he processes and understands where to go with the football. Right? This is a part of quarterbacking that makes you elite. Mm-hmm. It ain't the athletic ability, the ability to scramble and all of that. The part that makes you elite as a quarterback is how fast do you see the picture and do you get the ball there before your receiver gets there.
The arm strength is a prerequisite, but the most important thing is how fast you process information.
Yeah, but I throw this at both of y'all. Just a question. When you say that, and I'll go to you first, Max. When you say that, here's my thing. Is he processing, or is he so great? I'm talking about Mahomes here. Is he so great a passer of the football that he's decisive about where he's going because he's confident he can get it there
we see him
before the defender.
you
see what I'm saying?
We see him, no doubt. It feeds into each other. We see him improving, too, and he's got the play call design and everything. I want to get back to the Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield comparison. Look, Baker Mayfield, a lot of what he has is based on for me, he's interchangeable with some guys. He's not the tallest, that kind of stuff. Not the fastest, not the best arm. But for me, in those situations like he was against L.A., end of the game, I expect him to make that play to send it to overtime. When I see him bail on the play and not process the information, that's a big hit to me for Baker Mayfield because that's the dude I expect him to be. Daniel Jones, one game and in the preseason, looks like he's processing information quickly, but here's the difference as this season progresses. We've talked off camera about like quadruplets, right? You look at Kansas City, Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, and when he had Kareem Hunt and Travis Kelce. Daniel Jones has Saquon Barkley, and Evan Ingram can fly. He's a great pass catcher, right?
Yes, he can.
He does not have the top receiver. In fact, he had it in Odell Beckham Jr. Could you imagine Odell, Saquon, and Evan Ingram with a quarterback? No, but you know who does have Odell now? Baker Mayfield. And as this season progresses, we're going to see, my prediction is Baker and Odell do some special
What's the biggest thing Baker needs that Daniel Jones has for you to come out with this hot take after one game?
Daniel, first of all, this is looking ahead, Molly. People need to understand that this is not a gut reaction to him beating Tampa.
Yeah.
Right? I'm the biggest pause keeper on quarterbacks being deemed.
I don't know if you're bigger than that than me, but go ahead.
But I know what it looks like. I've been around the game long enough to know. Look, I was out on this kid. Like I'm the first to say and say I was out watching him in his bowl game against Temple. He looked terrible. And everybody can go back and tell you about that film. But with that being said, the things that he's doing has nothing to do with who he's playing against. And that's what separates quarterbacks.
Okay. I don't know if I agree with that part. We'll see. Next week is Washington, but then after that, it's Minnesota and New England. I don't know. Let's see. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.